Well, good morning, or maybe it's good afternoon to you today there, Larissa. Jim here from PSI Brand. Really want to speak to you today, Larissa, a bit about Global Roto, who you are, based there you've got two branches, right, in Queensland and in Victoria.
Correct.
And you're all about rotomoulding. And I was having a bit of a quick look back, and it looks like we've been involved with each other as businesses since around 2012. So
that sounds right, yes.
Really much appreciate that. But today I'd like you to just tell us a bit about yourselves, what you do, what makes you so special, so our listeners can learn a bit more about Global Roto.
Fantastic. Well, I'm Larissa. I am second generation Global Rotomoulding. Company was started by Lester and Howard Ferry. They were brothers. They had many different careers before they came to rotomoulding, but probably the one that helped them the most was their background in farming. So they actually started Global Rotomoulding while they each had other full-time jobs. They found a machine on YouTube and thought that it looked really interesting. And then they found one that was fairly close that someone was selling. So they bought a very little rock and roll machine and they set about making the things that they wished they had had when they were farming. So when they started, they would, Howard's a fantastic boilermaker. And so he would make up a mold, they'd work out a program, make a product. And once they had a product, they would literally go and knock on people's doors and say, "Hi, we made this product. We think it fits well with your line. Do you think you'd like to buy it?" And then over time, obviously, we've got a little bit more sophisticated than that. So we moved away from making molds before we had a market and went to taking design pictures and saying, "Hey, this is what we've got to offer. Is that something that's interesting to you?" So that's our origin story.
So cool, so cool. And so nowadays you're making all these products, obviously, what Lester and Howard were doing was products they liked for themselves. But so I'm saying your typical customer is what, like the Australian farmer or farm merchants?
Yeah, so we work predominantly in agriculture, although we do work in mining. We do some play equipment, water treatment, and the most of what we do at the moment is actually what we call original equipment manufacture. So we manufacture products for other customers that had a fantastic idea, and we make a small part of whatever their overall product is.
Absolutely, and I've seen a lot of great examples out there. So cool to see your products popping up all over Australia. So a bit about that and all the different brands that you work with. Tell me a bit about your view on branding and, what does a strong brand mean to you and your customers?
Yeah, look, I think it's really interesting because, as I said, the boys came to this from something else and they're not into marketing. When I started working for them, they didn't have a brochure, they didn't have a website. They knocked on people's doors, and that's how they made sales. That was their whole marketing strategy right there. And that's a really nice way to do business, but it's not a easy way to do business in a growing global economy, I suppose. To be able to scale, you really need to have a brand name that people recognise, they know they can trust, and they're really comfortable with. And we prefer to work with companies that we believe have that reputation, and we believe that they like to work with us because we have that reputation as well.
So important what you say about recognition and trust, which are the hallmarks of great branding. So, well, as I mentioned, it's been an absolute pleasure to support, or play a small part of that journey. And, since 2012, from very early days, or early in our journey as a company, and we've enjoyed working with you. And I guess, I'd like from your point of view to say, what have you seen PSI brand play that role in your branding journey and create value to some of the products that you offer out there?
Sure. Can I tell you the story of how we came to find you?
I'd love to hear that story.
So we had a lot of our customers coming back and saying, "Oh, look, we didn't know how to find you. There's nothing on your products that leads us back to you. We went looking and we looked and we looked and we found it really hard to get back to you." And at that point we went, there must be a way that we can do that. And we've been using stencils with spray on paint, but that doesn't work very well for branding. It works okay for doing calibrations, but it didn't work for branding. And so we went looking to see what we could find, and you guys popped up above everybody else. And so that's how we made the connection with you. It was actually customer led that, look, we can't find you. And that's your worst nightmare as a company. You want them to be able to find you. So yeah, that's how we came to be PSI customers.
Great story. I appreciate. I never knew that. I never heard that. Well, if I have, forgive me.
No, I don't think you have. I just was thinking about it, getting ready for this, and went, oh, actually, that's how that happened.
Yeah, so good. Oh, that's a cool story. And look, appreciate you sharing that, Larissa. And look, I've heard your talks at some of the ARMA conferences, and I know your influence and support for the whole rotomoulding industry is invaluable. Would you say what could you say in any sort of parting shot to any other perhaps rotomoulders or plastic fabricators with industrial plastics out there about branding?
Look, I think everybody these days understands how important branding is.
Sure.
And certainly with plastic, it has been more of a challenge. We have that issue with nothing sticks to plastic. And so this has been the absolute best that we could possibly ask for. It's easy. It's very easy to apply. I can do it, and I don't work in the factory anymore. So as far as I'm concerned, if you have plastic or any way that you can use these products, you can't go past them.
I appreciate that. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you, Larissa, and certainly excited for what the future of Global Roto holds. And we look on with interest and look forward to supporting you too on where to from here.
Thank you. And look, we really appreciate the things that you've done with us. It's not just applying those. You have helped us with our flood relief options as well, and we're really grateful for that. So thank you.
Well, we like to say there's some synergy there because we're definitely a customer-led company as well. So here's to the future.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Larissa. Much appreciated.